Hello, everyone. Welcome, Joan. How are you this morning?
A little bit chilly level and battling with technology at the moment, but anyway. And
Well,
yourself?
the story of working remotely, most of us are undergoing those challenges, but it's part of it, and we can learn to swiftly and seamlessly work with these hiccups, isn't it?
Yeah, no, absolutely. We have to
Fantastic.
make a plan.
So, Joan, tell us why we're here.
So today we're here to talk about Hot Stuff Cafe, which is a safe place where we can actually come and wear our hearts on our sleeves as we talk about our emotions and what is going on as we're in lockdown.
Fantastic. And we are now 3 months into our lockdown, Joan. And how's that been going? It's been a
Well,
roller coaster for some of us, as we learn to navigate and, learn to actually adapt to this new norm. So, how has it been with you?
yeah, so in terms of the emotions, I think like many people, in fact, I don't know anyone who's not experienced this roller coaster of emotions. So one minute we're absolutely fine, the next minute we can even be in tears, we're angry, and it just feels in a way that we might not even be in control of our emotions. So from an emotional point of view, yes, that roller coaster has been going on, and I've chosen to live the emotion as it appears.
Fantastic. That's actually a positive, approach to this. So, if you could maybe indulge us, what is Hard Stuff Cafe?
So it's actually something that came about because a number of people have spoken about the fact that they don't feel that there's a safe place for them to chat about what they are actually feeling. So in the workplace, for example, they don't want to bring people down, or even at home, if they're feeling anxious and they might be upset if they're grieving. They don't want to. They're not sure where they can share that safely. And so there was a need to actually just create this place where people can come and just chat about how they're feeling, which is then Hot Stuff Cafe. How it works is that we literally have a conversation. How are you feeling? We identify, we unbundle what those emotions are. As a professional in change management, and especially the people side of change, one of the things that we know is that there is a cycle of change that we experience for all changes. And there is a particular tool that we use in change management, which we are using in Hot Stuff Cafe, so that people can easily identify what those emotions are. They're not good, they're not bad, they're just what they are. In being able to unbundle them and identify them, there's a sense of relief that we're normal, actually. We're not that weird.
Yeah, that is fantastic. It's actually good to know that there's tools and approaches that can actually help people navigate the change. And so, really, who is this targeted for?
So, on the one hand, it is for every individual that is going through the changes of COVID. In addition, of course, we've now got, what is happening in terms of the Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter and that emotional charge. And we know what is coming also is unfortunately additional, emotions that are going to be heightened due to loss of income and loss of actually family members and friends. And so it really is first and foremost for the individual. There is also an aspect that we're going to do specifically for leaders. And we would like to be we're looking for partners in wellness to support leadership in business so that they can support also their teams. But first and foremost, it's about us. It's about I and you and I.
Yeah, and Joan, this is quite critical. And looking at where South Africa could be going and heading. We have done a very good job in terms of trying to contain and flatten the curve in terms of COVID. However, we can see now the cycle of this pandemic is that it's slowly picking up. The numbers are growing significantly. And what does that mean? And so we may have not reached the peak like the Americas and their, the likes of Italy. And so we certainly are not aware what we could actually be facing. So we don't necessarily want to create a really dim future, but in the near future we may have to sort of contend and deal with um, very difficult circumstances. And so I actually, find that this approach is certainly very important aspect to try and get people to have a readiness and preparedness in terms of how they navigate this. Given that the Americas and the Italians were never prepared for this, it just hit them, and they did not know how to handle it at a personal level, at an organizational level. Leaders are also having to find different leadership styles, being more compassionate in how they lead, because the old way of leading may not necessarily help them actually deal and navigate this environment. So, what are the benefits, Joan, of the Hard Stuff Cafe?
So the first thing, this is the feedback that I'm getting is the fact that we can just let off that steam, almost like the pressure cooker. So whatever that surface emotion is right now, it's just letting that out. So there's a release. There's an immediate release in terms of, I feel that I've been able to let go of something. That is actually the first benefit. It's just release. The second benefit is for people to actually understand that in this change cycle, in all change cycles, there are a number of emotions that we go through, and we either are able to identify each and every one quite distinctly, or sometimes what happens is we may not identify them, we might actually repress them. And in repressing them, that might cause illness and disease, or fatigue, etc., and of course anguish and other knock-on effects of anger, of the emotions. So in terms of the benefits, by identifying, understanding what is happening, there is also a sense of taking ownership, and it helps to build resilience. And in fact, in terms of the Hard Stuff session, Hard Stuff Cafe session, we also talk about a few of the resilience teams. We don't facilitate it in that session. We just mention, what those tips are. Sorry, I said teams, but tips. The building resilience tips. And just in that knowledge and that awareness, people walk away with a sense of, oh, I have got more control than I thought.
Fantastic. And now, Joan, tell us, where can people go to find information about Hard Stuff Cafe? So I'm sure we'll have quite a number of people who would really be keen, to try out what Hard Stuff Cafe is all about.
Yeah, so they can go online. It is a virtual workshop. It's 90 minutes. And the next one is on the 9th of July. It is, they can find information at www.embracingchange.co.za.
Want to repeat that for us? Thank you, Joe.
Yes, so it's at www.embracingchange.co.za. And the next Hard Stuff Cafe is on the 9th of July.
All right. Any other channels that you will be utilizing for people to perhaps have access to this, social media?
So I'll also, it will also be accessible via Facebook and via LinkedIn.
Okay, that sounds fantastic and great sharing, Joan. We're looking forward to this amazing journey of transitioning and dealing with these transitions into the new norm. Looking forward to being part of the journey as well myself as the co-facilitator. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Liabo. And yeah, it's a pleasure, and I'm really looking forward to having more people join us. It's a very lovely experience. That's all that I can say, but people must come and see for themselves. And look, you see the emotions aren't even going away. I've got a tear in my eye already.
Okay, fantastic. And let's sign off.
Thank you
Great.
so much. Okay, chat soon. Bye, Lebo.
Bye, Joan.